What's the most surprising thing that has changed or shifted in your emotional responses to life?
Um, Poof. I'd say probably first and foremost is specifically in my relationship with my mother.
Right.
So I thought I would always egoically respond to her because, in a way, it also felt good to do that. It felt good to be right, to be in the right, to be superior, to put her in her place because she made lots of mistakes in parenting. I had to shift all of me and my behaviors. At first, I wanted her to change, but I'm like, that's a ridiculous way to try to go about this. And it was literally the hardest work, bar none. So for me, that particular work is probably the most pivotal and critical. And it didn't just live in that relationship, as none of our work ever does. What I had to do to shift to be in that relationship impacted every other relationship, impacted every other job, like it impacted everything in really positive ways. So every time my mother would cross one of my boundaries, one of the things I worked on is I don't need to be angry, frustrated, mad, annoyed with the fact that she crossed a boundary. It's her behavior. Actually, I should expect that she does that because that's what she's done the entire time I've been alive. At least that's what it felt like, anyways, right? It's the only thing I've known is she keeps crossing my boundaries. She will keep pushing them. She'll keep erasing them. She'll keep steamrolling them. And so I should expect her to do that. And as soon as my expectation of her behavior matched what she did, then my emotional response to what she did changed entirely. And I predetermined the response I wanted to have. So I programmed it in my head. From now on, when my mom breaks one of my boundaries or violates one of my boundaries, I'm just going to go, oh, yep, that's mom. More so than why the bleep, bleep, bleep that would go on in my head is she, and I'm like, my blood pressure, my heart rate, everything through the roof. And now I'm the one who's suffering. And that flip helped me to then approach in a response to her firmness rather than frustration. And I communicate way better when I'm in a state of well being. I can communicate firmness way better than when I'm in a state of frustration. And I found that when I did that on repeat, she started to do something different because she no longer, one, triggered me. Her ways of getting what she wanted didn't work anymore. When she slowly started to figure out this doesn't work anymore, she had to try something different because she wasn't getting the outcome she wanted. She wasn't getting anything she wanted, actually. She wasn't getting a rise out of me, nor was she able to push through my boundaries anymore. And so by influence of my own changes, she had to be different. And it was really powerful the first time I recognized she actually upheld one of my boundaries. I almost had one of those like crying moments of joy rather than crying moments of sadness, which is what I usually had from the experiences. I was so happy it worked because at the end of the day, I wanted to have a relationship with my mom. I needed her to want it as well. And when we got to the space of both wanting the same thing and realizing or recognizing how we had to show up in order for that to happen, it was pretty powerful.
Can you describe that moment or that realization?
Um, yes, I can, because I think whenever we say, when your heart gets so full, and I hope everyone has watched the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, and your heart grows 5 sizes too big. That's what it feels like in the body. That's what it felt like in my body as my heart got bigger. And so when I think about, the topography of emotions, then I would definitely say, well, my love experience grew. And along with that came like acceptance and is it an Afrikaans word? I see you.
Right.
That I see you. So there is like, that's the high level of it. And underpinning all of that are things like, I get you, I accept you. I forgive you. Like there's so many layers that come underneath that create the topography of it, which was like really overwhelming in the moment. And anytime I'm emotionally overwhelmed, I start crying, whether that be sad or really happy. And so this was a combination of all of those things because I felt sad that it hadn't happened sooner. And there were so many years of discourse. But then I also felt happy, like it happened and the future is going to be quite different.
That sounds absolutely glorious. You know, there's
It was glorious. Yeah.